What if I told you that the Detroit Lions never hired Dan Campbell and never become relevant as we know them today if it wasn't for one pivotal ruling that set off a chain reaction and reshaped the Lions' future as we know it today? It all began on January 14th, 2014, when Jim Caldwell stepped into the role of head coach for the Lions, and he had the best debut season as a Lions head coach ever, roaring to an impressive 11-5 record. The season ended earlier than they expected though, in the wild card round, to a different questionable call. The following year, they faltered though, with a 7-9 record, but the Lions showed their grit and bounced back with back-to-back winning seasons in 2016 and 2017. And in that 2017 season is where the ruling was made. Week 3, the Lions squared off against the Falcons in a pivotal regular season matchup. Both teams were hungry for a 3-0 start. The Falcons struck first with a touchdown pass to Mohamed Sanu, 7-0 entering the second quarter. They both traded field goals until Devonta Freeman walked in for a 1-yard touchdown. A 17-3 lead for the Falcons with 5 minutes to go in the second was not how the Lions drew it up. The Lions clawed back with a 40-yard field goal and then a huge pick six taken back by Glover Quinn. And just like that, the Lions found themselves with the ball down by just a touchdown going into half. Both offenses were firing on all cylinders, and the Falcons held the lead nearly the entire game. Then, Matt Ryan threw a red zone interception with 8 minutes left that went through the hands of Sanu and into the hands of Big Play Slay, keeping the Lions within striking distance despite the Falcons holding a 30-26 lead. Both teams were forced to punt on their next drive, and with one last opportunity, the Lions found themselves with 12 seconds left on the clock, no timeouts at the 3-yard line. It's truly a do-or-die situation.
Stafford's throw, catch made, touchdown Lions! It's Golden Tate, and they lead for the first time.
And the Lions won. They're 3-0 for the first time since...
In the play, the ruling on the field has changed. The runner was touched down at the half-a-yard line. He was short of the goal line. By rule, we would go back to a running clock and we have a 10-second runoff. So by rule, the game is over.
Okay, you may be wondering, how could a one call lead to the firing of Jim Caldwell? If we look at the final standings that season, the last wild card team was the 10-6 Falcons. And the best record to not make it was, you guessed it, the 9-7 Lions. Had the ruling favored the Lions, they would have been flip-flopped in the standings. Jim Caldwell and the Lions would have a third chance at winning their playoff game in decades. And with a 36-28 record as the Lions head coach, and 3 of his 4 seasons entering the playoffs, I think that cools the hot seat. Unfortunately for Jim Caldwell, that ruling spelled the beginning of the end for his time in Detroit. With Caldwell out, they hired Matt Patricia. Patricia's tenure, unfortunately, fell way short of expectations and was a complete dumpster fire. His record in 3 seasons with the team was 13-29. So Sheila Ford made the move to clean house and fire Bob Quinn along with Matt Patricia, just 3 years into their tenure. The question lingered in Detroit for months who the Lions were going to hire at head coach. Many thought it was hometown native Robert Saleh or Eric Bieniemy, but those people were wrong. They ended up hiring
built on we're going to kick you in the teeth, all right? And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right? And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up. And then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down.
Dan Campbell's hiring marked a change in the culture. Known for his fiery passion and love for his players, Campbell injected a fresh energy into the Lions organization. His emphasis on accountability and hard work resonated with players and fans, reigniting optimism for a brighter future. Looking back, it's clear that the ruling in the game against the Falcons could have changed the entire trajectory for the Lions organization as a whole. It set off a chain reaction that reshaped the Lions coaching staff and organization's identity. And that's how one call changed the Lions' future.